Shanti Shanti. Okay, although I'm talking about Shanti, I'm feeling very unshanti. And the reason is that I noticed the time. So I'm hankering and lamenting when I'm talking about becoming free from hankering and lamenting. What to do? Okay, what we've done so far, we spent a lot more time doing than I had planned, but it is as it is. In a sense, we're finally in the last hardly half an hour coming to the point, the substance, the practice. What do we do with what we're talking about? And so I'm really just going to be describing this, but now what I want you to do, and you might want to make a note or two of maybe just key words to think about, to reflect on, to identify an issue, a problem, a situation in your personal life that you would like to work on. Now, this doesn't have to be some big, heavy issue. It could be something just kind of irritating, maybe that you just, I don't know, you feel like, yeah, maybe it's good to give some attention to this. Because we're talking about digestion, we're talking about digesting emotions in such a way that they will actually enrich our lives, and in such a way that what is not, that is now no longer needed, we can let go of. And a key phrase in this whole process is a question, which we can ask ourselves. And this question, I argue, it sounds like some academic statement. I argue, I would say, I suggest that the question is an activity of the buddhi, of the intelligence, as opposed to the mind. And that this question opens the mind and enables us to do what the question asks of us. And what is the question? The question is, could I, just for now, let this go? And it's a question which can be answered either yes or no, either answer of which is quite all right. One doesn't make any judgment because it's an open question where the answer could be no, I'm not ready to let this go, which means, it just means that we have more digestion to do. So it may take some more time, but to act as a tonic for that digestion process. You all know what a tonic is. A tonic intensifies, it increases the digestion. So ginger is a tonic for digestion, right? So this is a question which can act as a tonic. It can be a little bit intensified with a variation on the question, could I let this go? And that opening, this opens to a question for ourselves: am I capable? And then a third level, which can be more like an invitation that's kind of with a gentle shove, is the question, when? When will I let this go? And the when, there's no if, it's when. Which means sooner or later, we will be able to let go. But it also invites us to say, oh, all right, I'll let go now. So if you can take a minute to think of something, an issue, a problem. It might be it's a person you're having difficulty relating with. It doesn't have to be something in the present. It could be something from the past. And maybe there's some remnants of an issue. Yeah. So this is a very open-ended thing. Just, is there some issue, some problem, something which is kind of, you feel like it would be good if I could work on this. And what we're working on is we're making an alternative to two general practices which we tend to do and which are not helping. One is to suppress emotion, and the other is to express emotion. Now, both of these have their place, but if something is lingering with us, it might be that what we need is a third option. And what that third option is letting go. Now, a way to think about this, it's suggested, you all have a pen. Everyone has a pen. Okay. Can you hold on to your pen like this? Not like this, but like this. Now, can you hold tighter? Now hold tighter. And now hold tighter. Now it's getting uncomfortable. Now let it release and hold it in your hand. I should have a pen to show example.
Yeah, you have it in your iPad.
Oh, thank you. So now just let it be loose in your hand like this. Now notice that the pen is not your hand. It's not your hand, right? Similarly, the emotion, the feeling, the issue is not you. So now, could you, just for now, drop this pen? That was not difficult, was it? Why? Because we are not gripping it. Maybe you know the story of the monkey. It's a system apparently they use for trapping monkeys. Is they take a big pumpkin and they clear out the insides and they make one small hole and they put a banana inside, and then the monkey smells the banana, puts the hand in, holds the banana, keeps holding the banana, keeps holding the banana until the hunter comes and takes him, because he can't think, if I just let go, I can pull out. So we're like monkeys, we're holding on. And Maya got us captured. Mm. So this question, which is the buddhi, is a very powerful question. And it's a question which you can develop a habit to ask yourself. Just in the course of the day, so many little things can happen where you kind of get mentally or emotionally pushed this way or that way. And you try to adjust in so many ways with so many habits, as Shuka Mataji explains. What if you just penetrate right through all of those habits with a simple, practically innocent question? Could I, just for now, let this go? But let's come back to that, because that's kind of step 2, where step 1 is, and I've mentioned this before, it's to welcome the issue, the feeling, the emotion. And here, a few images could help. One is the idea of welcoming a guest. You let them into the house and you sit them down and you offer them some tea or whatever. Herbal tea, of course. And you speak nice words to them and listen to them. Another image is you are visiting a museum. There's an exhibit in the museum, a sculpture exhibit, and it's featuring one particular sculpture, and that sculpture is your issue. And they've set it up in a nice vitrine, glass case, and nice lighting. So you can view it from all angles. You can walk around the sculpture. You can see it from all sides. But also what can be valuable is to kind of open your senses to be aware of what the physical sensations are that come with that issue. In general, we can say, for example, that, and this is in the Bhagavatam, that anger brings tightness in the chest, right? And in the forehead. That's why Lord Shiva came out of Brahma's forehead, because he was holding in the anger, right? He wanted the 4 Kumaras to be Prajapatis, and they said no thank you, and he was a bit annoyed, but he didn't say anything. And so Lord Shiva came out of his forehead. And there's been trouble ever since. So to become more conscious of what is this doing in my body can be very helpful. To see if there's any pictures that you associate with this issue, images, can be some sounds, could be all sorts of things which you associate with that. And this welcoming is giving yourself time with that issue, feeling, problem, etc., to to release your fingers from the pen. You've been habituated to holding on tight. Uh-oh. Hare Krishna. You're coming just on time. They knew that we weren't going to come to the actual point until now. So, yeah, we can, again, going back to the holding the pen in the hand, this welcoming is a kind of conscious letting go with the fingers, the grip, loosening the grip, and focusing attention on, the pen. And just letting it be there. So, yes, question.
I had a question about this letting go. Because you also mentioned that sometimes it's not a passive process, it is an active process, which means doing something. And I was thinking, this aspect of letting go, does it only involve emotionally or mentally stopping or to stop to think about it and just observe our feelings, or could it also be physically taking distance, or could it be both?
Physically taking distance, as in taking distance from a situation.
From a situation, from a person.
It might involve that, yeah. But more fundamentally, it's about your own attitude in relation to something or someone. We saw this, let it be, let it be. So this also kind of points, we heard, to this idea, let that person be, let that situation be. So it may sound passive, but because there's this active question, could I let this go? That's an action. And of course, that's something Krishna speaks about in the 3rd chapter of Bhagavad-gita. 4th chapter is karmani akarmaya pashat akarmani chakarmaya ya buddhiman manusheshu. He says someone that it's an intelligent person who is able to discriminate what is action from what is inaction, because it can seem that what is action is actually inaction, and vice versa. So one consequential action can be just letting go, but doing it internally, doing it as an internal sense of, I don't need this. I'm done with this. It's over, whatever it is. Is that okay?
Thank you.
Oh, now we're getting divya snan. When it rains and the sun shines, that's the most auspicious kind of rain. Have you all thought of something, an issue or something you would want to work on? Yes, no, maybe, kind of. So let's take 1 minute to do this. Let's welcome it. and see where it takes you. Yeah, I'm going to disturb your meditation. You could spend more time with it, but we're just touching on on all of this. But one thing I want to add to this is you might feel some resistance to welcoming. Then what to do? You can welcome the resistance. Let the resistance be there. Okay. So what you're doing is I can only think of this example of loosening the grip. Because circumstances happen, relationships happen or don't happen, things are said or not said, we tighten and we identify with something which is separate from us, and then we hold on to that, and that becomes, we think that becomes part of us. And we become we become emotionally overweight. We start carrying unnecessary baggage. And if we carry unnecessary baggage, if I'm carrying unnecessary baggage, that puts additional demand on my heart. My heart has to pump harder. And it's going to wear out sooner as a result. So similarly, if there's unnecessary additional emotional baggage, that's also going to tax my heart. Isn't it? We want our hearts to be open.
Open but not exposed.
Not exposed to being wounded, no. But we don't want it to close either because of having experienced being wounded. That's another problem. Bhaktivinoda Thakur speaks of the sky of the heart. He says the heart, Hrit Gagana. It is like a sky. It's vast, it's big, and so it can encompass, it can take in so much. But if it's burdened by unnecessary baggage, then we won't experience its openness. Yeah. Yes, Anissa.
You can say that also can lead to disease, like
Yeah.
physical disease.
Yes, it can lead to physical disease. Yes. This is common knowledge that emotional disturbance can lead to disease, right? What is it called? Somatic? Psychosomatic issues, yeah. So, so what? I kind of already explained step 2. And what I find as a scriptural support for this practice is Bhagavad-gita chapter 6, verse 35, I believe. Arjuna has just complained to Krishna about how difficult it is to control the mind. And Krishna, He says what? He says it's like trying to control the wind.
You have to practice.
Asangshayang mahabaho mano durnigraham chalam. Says, undoubtedly, it is very difficult to control the mind. Durnigraham, very difficult to control the mind. Abhyasena tu konteya vairagyena cha grihyate. However, it can be done by two things. Abhyasa, practice, and detachment, vairagya. Now, when we hear vairagya, we tighten up, we resist. We think, oh no, you're going to tell me I have to give up this, and I have to give up that, and I have to give up the other, and next thing you're going to tell me I have to sleep under a tree. But what I learned from this method is, no, that's not the point. The point is to become detached from that which is extra unnecessary emotional baggage. And that takes practice, abhyasa. Abhyasa has the sense of something you repeat, something you do regularly and you repeat. So what this method is suggesting is developing a new kind of habit in which one becomes a bit more conscious of what sort of emotions are happening. Therefore, this list of emotion constellation, it could be there are other ways to list emotions, and these are just a few of so many. But I find this helpful to become just a bit more conscious, and then develop a habit of, rather than trying to push them away or ignore them or do something else with them or rationalize or be ashamed about them, to welcome, to let it be there, and allow yourself to see the distinction between yourself and that emotion or that issue. We're generally habituated the other way around. It's easy to take as example anger. We identify as I am angry. Well, what if we say there is anger? Sounds a little impersonal, but it might help to make a bit of separation. Oh, there's some anger in this room.
I learned to say, a part of me feels anger. A part of me, so it's not my whole self, so it's a part of me.
Yeah, that works too. Yeah,
it's so interesting that in the book Sukavaha Mataji, in the second part of the solutions, that she says there are all kinds of protectors, managers, and you reminded me of that. If we have been hurt, we want to protect ourselves from it to happen again, and therefore one part of us is a protecting manager, she explains, and that one could become very angry, maybe.
Yeah, I was just using anger as one example, but we have a myriad of shades of emotion all the time. And the point I'm making now is about habit in a positive sense, abhyasa, of this practice, which can be done in a bit of a conscious way. And the step one is this, just allowing it to be there, whatever it is. And the step two is asking this question, could I? Just for now. The just for now is a bit of a trick because it's like a child. Just give me that toy just for now, for 5 minutes or 1 minute, Oh, okay. And so we're a little bit tricking the mind by saying just for now. But also we mean it that way because we can take it back if we want. But another way to read that is not for the past, not for the future, for now. I'm going to focus on now instead of the past, which is full of lamentation, or the future, which is full of hankering. I'm going to look now. Can I just for now let this go? Now the answer that we give ourselves can be, no, I can't. Now do I go condemn myself? Oh, I can't let this go. Nope, don't condemn yourself. Just recognize it's not time yet. But don't stop asking yourself this question. You can come back 5 minutes later or 2 minutes later and ask again. And one example that I appreciate for this is if you have some machine, let's say, and you have an old nut and bolt on it and it's rusty and it's completely tight and you want to undo it. So you take a wrench, it's not moving. Coca-Cola?
Yes.
Coca-Cola?
But say there is no Coca-Cola available.
Oh, okay. I'm a little out of touch. Yeah, so you, okay. Anyway, so you keep doing a little pressure, and eventually it's loose. So the question, the Buddhi is coming and poking a little tiny hole in the balloon of your mind. See, the mind is very much focused generally in this world because it's considered one of the it's the sixth sense. So it's very much related to our senses. And what are the senses related to? Sense objects. Indriyani paranyahur indriyenya paramana. Manasastu parang buddhe, but the buddhi is above the mind. But the mind is not listening to buddhi because it's busy. It's busy with the senses, which are busy with the sense objects. But then along comes the buddhi with a sharp pin, and it goes, bonk. Could you let this go? And then at some point, the mind can turn attention to that question. And that does something magical. It opens the mind to possibility, which the mind previously did not see. The mind that's focused on the senses, which are focused on the sense object, is a closed mind. But when it's opened up by the buddhi, that opens it to what? The soul. Indriyani paranyahur indriyavya paramana manasastu param buddhe yo buddhe paratastu saha. Saha refers to the self, the Atma. And that opens us to
Shanti.
Paramatma. Yeah. Chitatmana prashantasya Paramatma samahita. Yes.
It seems like it might be wise to start with the less persistently disturbing emotion. Maybe to
Yes. I suggest start with simple things. You have to catch the bus and you missed it. Damn. Okay, what's that all about? And then you can give it a little attention. And then you don't have to carry that frustration with you the rest of the day. So little things. It's very good. Okay, we're already coming to the end of our time. Yes? Little more time, yes. Meanwhile, you can all be getting out your Japa Mala. I hope you brought. In case, we have extra bead bags here. Yes.
Maharaj, I just had something came into my mind during this exercise, and it's what Krishna says in Bhagavad-gita. He says, of all the senses, I am the mind, if I'm not mistaken. And I'd like to understand how we can reconcile that with these practices on popping the balloon of the mind with buddhi, for example.
It's a short answer, I would say, is from 6th chapter of the Gita. Udaret atmanatmanam na atmanam avasadayet. Atmaiva hyatmano bandhur atmaiva ripur atmana. It says, elevate your mind by the mind. Do not degrade your mind by the mind or by the self. The anatmanastu shatut, if the mind is not controlled, it becomes your enemy. And the aim is for the mind to become your friend. So the mind can be either. And when Krishna says, of the senses, I am the mind, I would say, first of all, it's the organizing principle of the senses. And in that sense, Krishna is that. But we can also identify, in that context, mind as friend. Yeah. I would put it something like that. Okay, now I'm looking for... There's another analogy I want to make, which I came across and I found very interesting, and I found it an interesting way of practicing something, here it is, in our japa practice. And I'm just going to read, first of all, a paragraph. This is from an American psychologist of the 20th century, James Hillman. The alchemists had an excellent image for the transformation of suffering and symptom into a value of the soul. A goal of the alchemical process was the pearl of great price. And that phrase, I looked it up, it's a quote from Matthew in the New Testament. The pearl starts off as a bit of grit, like a grain of sand, a neurotic symptom or complaint, a bothersome irritant in one's secret inside flesh, which no defensive shell can protect oneself from. This is coated over, worked at day in, day out, until the grit one day is a pearl. Yet it still must be fished up from the depths and pried loose. Then, when the grit is redeemed, it is worn. It must be worn on the warm skin to keep its luster. The redeemed complex, which once caused suffering, is exposed to public view as a virtue. The esoteric treasure gained through occult work becomes an exoteric splendor. To get rid of the symptom means to get rid of the chance to gain what may one day be of greatest value, even if at first an unbearable irritant, lowly and disguised. So this image of the pearl, we all know how pearls are made. They take, I don't know how long, they take time in the mollusk, starting with an irritant. And what Hillman is saying is that irritant actually might be a good thing. If it's worked on, it can become something good. And that something eventually can turn into a virtue. It can be something glorious, something that is like an ornament. So here's what came to my mind as a little exercise one can do while chanting japa. And that is, we have one of our senses is the sense of touch. And we use this sense while we are chanting on beads. And what if one would, as one chants and hears the Maha Mantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. What if one would imagine each bead to be a pearl, and as one is chanting, if some thought comes to mind about something that it may not even be disturbing. It may just be, oh, I have to shop for this today or that or the other. And not to get distracted by that. What if we just try to remember I'm polishing my pearls? And this puts some attention on the fingers and the touch, which is part of the engagement of the senses in bhakti yoga. So we're not just counting how quickly can I get through 108 of these beads, or 108 times 16. But each bead is a pearl, and it's been made into a pearl by some process, and we are polishing it. Shall we try that? We can chant one round. And yeah. And as the mind is going, now if you want more visualization, closing the eyes. I was some years ago visiting, there's a park in Croatia where they have water pools that are very clear and very still. And you go on a boat and you can see in the bottom. So you can think of the mind, because we're talking about peace, we can think of the mind as a clear, flat surface of a lake in which we can see down. Yeah. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, 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 Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna 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 Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Jai Shri Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda. Hari Hari Bol. So, how was that?
Very nice.
So, we have 108 pearls in our bead bags. It's one way of. I've always wondered why do we chant with beads other than to count? There's something more to it. I think this can help. Going back to the image of digestion, we can think we're also polishing the pearls, which is a process of making the pearl. The oyster, the mollusk, there's a polishing going on in the process of whatever the material is, calcium something, calcium bicarbonate or something accumulates. But we're chanting Krishna's names and Rama and Hari, Hara, and so we're praying for service. And what does Krishna say? Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu mam anusmara yudyacha. He says we should always do two things simultaneously. He wants us to be multitaskers. He wants us to fight. Fight? Well, what if we think of pearl making and dealing with whatever we're dealing with in the world as fighting. Mam anusmara, and always think of me. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And if we practice abhyasa, asking ourselves, could I let this go? We can also remember, let go and let God. So I'll say thank you all so much for joining our little gathering the last 3 afternoons. Perfect timing. Now it starts raining. So the sacrifice, the ritual, the yajna is successful. Because we all chanted a round of Hare Krishna in the end. What timing, huh? I planned it that way. No.
We didn't expect less.
Okay. So we'll end there. Thank you all so much. And I hope this will be useful for you. That it won't be just something that, oh yeah, there was a seminar. What was it about? Oh yeah, something about Shanti. Yeah, anyway, Shanti. Who cares about Shanti? I hope it'll be actually useful in your lives, and it may help in the process, which Prabhupada often said is a gradual process of progressing on the path of bhakti, devotion to Lord Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Ananta Goti Vaishnavinda ki jai, Radhadesh Yatra ki jai, Tibo's yurt ki jai, Gaur Premananda.